Fall is upon us here in Minnesota. It's getting colder. We're in sweatshirts and jeans. Water's getting colder quick. If we're going out, we're going out in wetsuits. People are pulling out their docks, their boats. And I see on the internet a lot of questions and a range of answers to those questions. And I wanted to just make sure you heard that information from the experts. So once you pull your boat out of the water, what do you do to make sure it's ready for the winter? The first thing that we do is we go out to the dock or under the trailer and we fill up our gas tank with the correct amount of stable for a full tank. While we drive to the gas station or while we pull our boat out, it mixes in with the fuel. We'll put in a full tank of gas, and we do our best, no matter where we're at, to put in non-oxy gas. That will prevent the degradation of the fuel over time. If you can't find that, use the highest octane you can find for the off season. Whether you're in Houston or Minnesota, it's always best to get your boat ready for the off season and winterize it. You know, we had some catastrophic issues the last couple of years down there where boats froze up, and I don't want to see that happen to anybody. I want to make sure that in the spring when you drop your boat in, it's ready to go. So once we do pull the boat out of the water, we get it on the trailer, we go ahead and replace the oil. We replace the oil every 50 hours just due to, you know, we're serving behind these boats at higher RPMs pretty consistently. So we like to swap it out every 50 hours. And it doesn't matter if we have 10 or 12 hours on the boat, we're still gonna replace the oil and filter again before we put it in storage. That just ensures that we're ready to go in the spring. Another common question that I see people asking online is the impeller. What do you do with the impeller? You pull it out, you inspect it, you make sure it's good. Do you leave it in the boat over the winter? Do you hang it on the steering wheel to make sure you don't forget to put it in? What we've always done is we just swap it out every year. For 30 or 40 bucks, it just makes sure that we don't have any issues. We put 70 to 90 hours on these boats every year, so not a ton, but a decent amount. And we've never had any issues if we just swap it out every year. And we leave it in the boat. We've never had any problem with just leaving it right in the water pump, ready to go. We like our boats ready to go in the spring, so that's just part of it. The next question I see a lot is your ballast impellers. Again, we do the same thing. We want our boats ready for the spring. We spend the 30, 40 bucks a piece on those ballast impellers and swap them out. This boat behind me has the two pumps for each ballast tank, a fill and a drain. Those don't have ballast impellers, just your reversible pumps. The black ones with the brass heads have the ballast impellers. So you don't, if you have a boat where it has a fill pump on the through hull and a drain pump on the tank or the bag, there's nothing really to do there. As far as getting the ballast system winterized, we've always had luck just hitting drain on everything and making sure there's no pressure in the system. If there's no pressure in the system, nothing's really gonna freeze or crack. If you're really worried about it, you can pour half a gallon in each tank and hit drain again, just flush it through the system. If you're gonna pour it through the through holes in the side of the boat, make sure you don't have check valves. A lot of the reversible pump boats these days have check valves, so you're gonna have to undo a hose and pour it into the bag or the tank, specifically at that location. Once we're done with the maintenance side of things, we're gonna move on to the winterization. And what we like to do is we like to completely drain the block, and then we refill it with RV antifreeze. And you know, there's comments online that that's corrosive and you can cause issues. We've been doing it a really long time. Most of the shops around here do it as well, and we've never had a problem. So whether you have plugs on the side you can unscrew to drain the block, or if you just disconnect the hoses, disconnect all the hoses, let the block drain, hook everything back up and tighten it up. If you have a heater, make sure to blow out the heater. So there's a 1-inch line that's off the manifold that'll run up to the heater and then back. Pull both of those off. Blow air through it, low pressure. You don't want to blow high pressure air, it can damage it. So blow that low pressure air through the heater, get all the water out, and then hook it back up. The way we get the antifreeze into the system is we unhook the main intake and we pour antifreeze from the jugs into that hose while the boat is running. The boat will suck up all the antifreeze. 3 or 4 gallons usually is what it takes, and then you're good to go. We put that connection back on and tighten it up, and the boat's full of antifreeze, and we shouldn't have any issues at all. There's lots of ways to get antifreeze in the system. I hear people say you should leave your block empty. I've always heard that that can cause more issues with corrosion than having the RV antifreeze full in there. And so we've always kept it full. If you have any more questions, hit us up in the comments. Watch our winterization videos. We have several winterization videos for new or old boats on our YouTube channel here. And hit us up in the comments if you have any questions. We'd be happy to answer them.